I live in Burrillville, and I want to speak to the concept of social equity. I've got here the printout of Appendix A right at the very end of the plan. It's a very nicely written plan, which lays things out in seemingly very nice order and with a great master plan. Unfortunately, social equity is a concept that I'm looking at, and I look at Principle A, state clearly that the goal of all these plans is to eliminate disparities along race, class, gender, and other dimensions of diversity. And then B says, make sure that development is focused on people. Well, folks, I think we all know that history is replete with tragic examples of what top-down, socially engineered, centrally planned master ideals for planning a wonderful pseudo-utopian society have resulted in. At the very best and most benign examples, you've had brief periods of modest prosperity with horrific losses of civil liberties and human rights, such as we saw in different countries in Europe in the middle of the last century, all the way to fully centrally planned economies and societies, which we saw in Soviet Russia and which we are seeing in North Korea. Now, obviously, RhodeMap RI is not what they're seeing in Pyongyang right now. However, the very idea that we need to achieve by some planned means, some measure of social equity is quite ridiculous. I've got here in this room, we all have a microcosm of Rhode Island. We've got people, both genders, different ethnicities, different backgrounds, different ages, and I can assure you that nobody needs the government's help for social equity. What we need is the government to step back and allow the free market to run its course properly, and for the government to do its job of defending the individual, the rights of the individual, people's property rights, cut back on nonsensical eminent domain issues. We're all familiar with the tragic and horrible travesty that was Kilo versus the city of New London. Now that place is an empty wasteland. This is, I'm sure with some people, a well-intentioned plan, but it doesn't work. You cannot have central planning and protect the rights of the individual and protect the rights of private property. We all love to have a healthy environment. Up in Burrillville, we love our forests, we love our open spaces, and I can assure you that we will be up in arms fighting to stop any type of activity that would put our pristine environment at risk. We are also, the most of us, property owners, and we jealously guard those rights also. We do not need to have people from some unelected, unaccountable regional planning board. We don't need to have people from Washington telling us how to do things. Control should be kept local. Control needs to be kept accountable with the people who are actually being affected most by it. And trust me, there is not a single person in this state that needs help from the government to achieve social equity. What we need is the government to get out of our way, as I said before, and let us be the determiners of our own destinies. Thank you.
That's right.